Now let us look at the efficiency of the heat engine. First of all, we have to I have to mention that in the process or in the mechanism of the heat engine, it works with the cyclic process. The cyclic process here means that the initial state of the engine is the same as the final state of the engine in one cycle, and after that the engine repeats the process again and again. So the most important thing in the cyclic process is that it means that if you start from some initial state and you do some process and then go back to the initial state, it means that the internal change of the internal energy equal to 0 in one cycle. So if we look at the engine in one cycle, there is no change in the internal energy. And then from the first law, we must have that the work done on the engine is equal to minus of the heat given to the engine. So it means that if we input the heat into the engine, Q must be positive, and we must have that W is negative. The W is negative, it means that the engine do work to the environment. The engine do work to the environment. Okay. Now, if we want to look at the efficiency, or we call it the thermal efficiency of the engine. The thermal efficiency of the engine is the ratio of the energy input to the engine to the work done by the engine. Okay. From this equation, you can see that what we have is that work done by the engine, we write out this as the WENG. This WENG is the work done by the engine, is equal to the heat input from the hot reservoir minus heat output to the cold reservoir. These two terms is the net heat that enter the engine. This is the input heat, and this is the waste that leave to the environment. So the net heat is equal to the work done by the engine. Okay. From this, we can define the thermal efficiency of the engine. E is equal to the work done by the engine over the energy input to the engine. Okay, we want to know that we input the energy by the amount of QH and what we get from the engine, which is the work done by the engine. And from this relation, okay, we must have that this is equal to the QH minus QC over QH. Please notice that we use the absolute value here because we just want to know the amount of work and heat that we enter to the system and the heat that waste to the environment. Okay, so we just want to know the amount, and we will manage the size in our algebraic manipulation ourselves. Okay, so that's why we put the absolute value here. And also here, WENG is positive, mean that the engine do work to us. Okay, here is not mean that the engine we do work to the engine. Okay, so we have that this is equal to 1 minus QH, QC over QH. Okay, 1 minus QC over QH. So this is the expression for the thermal efficiency from the heat engine.